and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on our first show tonight here at the DeSoto Club Dinner Theater.
Where are they?
Bubbling, rose-breasted grosbeak, a black-billed cuckoo. Grace, I saw a black-billed cuckoo.
My name is Muriel, you foolish old man.
I know your name's Muriel, that's what I called you.
Called me Grace. Grace was your first wife.
I called you Muriel, you're just hard of hearing and won't admit it. Grace, that's what I said.
There, you said it.
What?
Grace. You called me Grace.
Silly old woman. You call me Harry, but I call you Grace.
Can't you hear yourself?
What?
I said, can't you hear yourself?
Of course I can hear myself. It's you that can't hear. I say you call me Harry sometimes, your second husband, and sometimes George, your first.
I never did. You're just saying that because you call me Grace. Once in a while, Mary.
You just don't hear.
What's my name?
Silly question. Muriel. You're Muriel. Grace was my first wife, and Mary was way long ago.
Mary was before Grace.
No, she wasn't.
Yes, she was.
I should know who was my first wife, goddammit woman.
That's safe. Just call me woman. We won't get confused. It's not very flattering, but it's better than being called by the name of young wives. Now, my name's Muriel. Your name's Harry.
Did you hear? You call me Harry. Hot calling the kettle black.
Just got me confused, that's all. You always could mix me up. Back when we were going to Europe, I remember.
We've never been to Europe. That was Harry.
You and I went to Europe.
We did not. Grace and I went to Europe on our honeymoon. That was back when I had money. The old women had taken it all.
I've been to Europe with you.
You and Harry went to Europe.
I went to Europe with George, too.
Yes, well, I'm Herbert.
We've never been to Europe.
Singly, not together.
I think we have. We've just gotten.
I've got a perfectly good memory.
Can't even remember my name. You and I were in Venice together. You're just ashamed to remember it because of the scandalous good times we had. You loved me then.
I didn't love you when you were in Venice having a scandalous good time with whichever one it was. George or Harry, which was it?
It was you.
I've never been to Venice.
Yesterday you told me you'd never been to Chicago. Proved you wrong on that. Your second daughter by your first wife died there. We went to the funeral.
Grace?
The daughter's name?
No, Gracie's girl.
Grace wasn't your first wife, Mary was.
Were you there? I tell you, one was enough. Two was more than plenty. I don't know what got into me to try the third time.
You were sick. Too tight to hire a nurse, so you married me.
I got well. Why didn't I kick you out? Now, don't cry. You know I don't mean it. You always cry and cry buckets at our son's wedding. Took on something awful.
We didn't have any children. And I don't cry. That was Mary. I'm Muriel.
It's no wonder I'm confused. Which I'm not. You always say Grace, Mary, Muriel.
I'm just trying to straighten it out.
What difference does it make? I answer when you call me Bernie.
I never called you Bernie. I maybe once or twice called you Harry when I woke up in sunlight and didn't know where I was, but I never knew a Bernie.
Bernie.
I never heard of him.
He'd be pleased to hear that.
Who was he?
You were carrying on with him when I met you.
I was married to Harry when you met me.
And carrying on with Bernie, but he cleared out.
That must have been great.
You were carrying on with?
No, Grace must have been carrying on with Bernie.
Grace wasn't married before I was her first.
Not married, carrying on.
She was married to Harry and carrying on with Bernie.
I thought you said she wasn't married before.
You were.
What day of the week is it?
What's that got to do with it?
You can't remember anything, you senile old man. Bernie Walters.
That's him.
Who?
Bernie Walters.
Never heard of him.
I said his name.
Well, you didn't say it in here for over an hour. I was just repeating it.
I said Bernie Walters.
And I said I never heard of him. Besides, I wasn't married to Harry when I met you, George. If I'd been married to Harry, I wouldn't have looked at you twice. Fine. Rapping man, may he rest in peace. Ooh, what he did in Venice.
You see, it was Harry in Venice.
Of course it was Harry in Venice.
You said it was me.
You! You wouldn't have it in you to do a thing like that.
What? A thing like what?
Now, don't be jealous of a dead man. Done my best to forget him, George, like I promised when I married you.
I'm Herbert.
So you keep repeating it so you don't forget who you are.
You called me George just now.
My hearing aids are cheap thing.
Now see here, Grace.
I'm Muriel.
Me, what about you? Muriel, I'm Muriel. Well, I wouldn't call you Grace. Grace was soft and gentle and kind.
Why'd you leave her then?
I didn't. She died.
Mary died, your first wife. You got sick of Grace, left her and married me.
Left Grace for you?
Yes, you silly old man.
All wrong. Grace was my darling.
She drove you crazy.
My first love.
Mary.
Mary drove me crazy.
She was your first love. You told me about it often enough. The two of you young colts prancing around in the nude.
Mary?
Yes.
I never saw Mary naked. That was the trouble.
That was Grace.
Grace I saw naked. Well, naked. There was never anyone naked.
You can only be naked. You can't be any more or less naked.
You didn't know Grace.
Mary, I did know Grace.
Naked?
Keep a civil tongue in your head.
I never saw you naked.
No, not likely to either. That'd be the point. Couldn't do anything about it.
That's what you think.
Married me at 70, you were through the incense, Raymond.
You're lying. We had some good goes together down by the beach.
You and I have never been near a beach. You've never been near me in that way.
But old women forget. Forget the joys of the flesh. Why is that?
I don't forget Bernie.
Who?
Bernie Walters.
Never heard of him.
My second husband was married to him when Harry came along. Harry when you came along. Long time afterwards. Platonic marriage. That's what we had, you and I, George. It's all right.
Platonic under the willow tree that June.
What willow tree?
Well, I've been good to you, Mary, for all your carping and falling off in your old age, because I remember that willow tree. Muriel never knew about it. We were wicked.